is why Nicki Minaj looks like such a bad person. Points. Because she's defending her position from the position of being the winner.
This is crazy to say, but Nicki Minaj has been a target again at her own home. The news just broke out about this man that decided to trespass.
Maybe I'm tripping, but what are the odds that the woman who's Nicki Minaj and the woman who up Rihanna's house look alike?
Nicki Minaj is dealing with yet another frightening security situation after a man was caught prowling around her property in the early hours of the morning. What has people talking even more is that 50 Cent is now publicly linking this to the recent break-in at Rihanna's home, and his comments strongly suggest that Jay-Z and Roc Nation may be involved. That is almost word for word what Nicki has been saying for months. Both women have professional ties to Roc Nation. Rihanna remains under their management, while Nicki has been fighting a major financial battle, claiming Jay-Z owes her more than $100 million from a music streaming deal. And 50 Cent is no stranger to this conversation. He has been openly calling out Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Roc Nation for close to 25 years, well before anyone else dared to. On April 1st, a man named Leland Adams was taken into custody at Nicki's Calabasas mansion after security cameras caught him moving around inside the property grounds. He was not lingering near the entrance or passing by on the street. He was physically on her land. When security ordered him to leave, he ignored them completely and had to be physically restrained until law enforcement arrived. The timing raised eyebrows immediately, as the arrest happened on the exact day Nicki was scheduled to release her new album. It gets more troubling from there. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed to NBC that Adams had been picked up just 5 days before this incident, then released, and almost immediately turned up on Nicki's property. That pattern is either the behavior of someone who simply does not fear consequences, or someone who felt he had a job to finish. Shortly after the arrest, 50 Cent reportedly contacted Nicki privately to offer his support, a gesture that carries weight given his long history of publicly exposing how Roc Nation handles people who stand against them.
I love Nicki. I love Nicki. She's from
Queens, right?
Yeah. Her damage comes from the same place.
So let's start with what just happened on April 1st.
On April 1st, a man named Leland Adams got arrested at Nicki Minaj's mansion in Calabasas after security cameras caught him moving around her yard and not just standing at the gate or walking past on the sidewalk. He was inside the property moving around. The security team told him to leave, and he just ignored them. So they had to physically detain him and hold him there until the sheriff's deputies showed up. And coincidentally, the man was arrested on the same day Nicki was supposed to release her album. Now, here's where it gets even weirder. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department told NBC that this was not the first time Adams has been arrested in the Calabasas area. In fact, he was arrested just 5 days before this incident at Nicki's house, but they let him go, and almost immediately he's back, this time on Nicki's actual property. So, if someone gets arrested in a wealthy neighborhood, released, and then right away trespasses onto a celebrity's property, this sounds like someone who wasn't afraid of getting caught, or someone who has an assignment to complete. Now, here's something that didn't make the news, but a lot of insiders are talking about right after that man got arrested at Nicki's gate. 50 Cent reportedly reached out to her privately to offer his help. And here's why that matters. 50 has been warning people about Jay-Z for decades, long before it was trendy or safe to do so. He's called out the industry politics, the manipulation, the way Roc Nation controls narratives and destroys anyone who steps out of line. Remember, 50 even claimed that Jay-Z tried to block him from performing at the Super Bowl with Dr. Dre, all because 50 dared to go against him publicly.
Yeah, he was hating because he was saying the NFL had an issue with me when I got 11 professional sports teams now that I'm the official champagne and cognac of. And where's the hate there? Like, I don't understand it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you said that there was an issue. It's an issue because he was doing the program. He didn't want me to be in the show.
This kind of targeting is not new for Nicki. She has been dealing with coordinated harassment at her home for years. In June 2023, someone filed a false report with Child Protective Services claiming her 2-year-old son was being harmed, sending police to her home while she was inside with her child. 1 month later, another false emergency call brought officers rushing to her property again. Investigators eventually identified the caller as a woman named Stephanie Bell, who was charged with 2 counts of making false emergency reports. Several fans online have since pointed out that Stephanie Bell looks remarkably similar to Ivana Ortiz, the woman who recently broke into Rihanna's home. No one is claiming they are the same person, but the resemblance combined with the strikingly similar targeting of both artists has people asking serious questions. The harassment continued well into 2025 with yet another false report called in, this time through the sheriff's non-emergency business line, claiming people had been spotted on Nicki's property. Officers arrived, surrounded the house, and found absolutely nothing. Around the same time, Nicki went public about her financial dispute with Jay-Z, stating he owes her somewhere between $100 million and $200 million tied to her ownership stake and title. When the platform launched in 2015, she was among roughly 15 artists given a 3% share. When Jack Dorsey's company Square acquired Tidal in 2021, Nicki claims she was offered just $1 million for that stake and tagged Jay-Z directly, demanding he make things right. She also turned her attention to Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation and Jay-Z's most trusted partner, who in 1994 was arrested in a major drug trafficking operation, reportedly cooperated with federal authorities as an informant, and later received a full presidential pardon from Donald Trump on his final day in office in January 2021.
Maybe I'm tripping, but what are the odds that the woman who Nicki Minaj and the woman who up Rihanna's house look alike? I could be tripping, but that is very much odd.
What makes Nicki's allegations stand out is the level of detail behind them. These are not emotional outbursts or vague claims. She has put forward specific names, real business transactions, documented legal history, and exact dollar figures. She even highlighted the political contradiction of Jay-Z presenting himself as a champion of black communities while employing a CEO pardoned by Trump with a federal drug conviction on her record. Given all of that, when a trespasser appears at Nicki's gate just weeks after she publicly accused some of the most powerful figures in music of owing her hundreds of millions of dollars, it is very hard to write that off as a random occurrence. The Rihanna connection adds another layer entirely. The woman who broke into Rihanna's home, Ivana Ortiz, reportedly has an ongoing lawsuit against Live Nation, the parent company that owns Roc Nation. Within the span of 3 weeks, 2 of the most prominent women in music, both linked to Roc Nation, had their homes breached. Rihanna, who has quietly pulled away from the industry, and Nicki, who has been loudly and publicly going after Roc Nation for well over a year. Random timing? Possibly. But given everything laid out here, that feels like a stretch. What is your take? Do you believe these 2 incidents are connected? Drop your opinion in the comments and stay tuned for the next video, Sonnet 4.